Before we get into coercion, I just want to explain operators to you. In particular, I want to be discussing unary versus binary operators. And I want to draw your attention to the plus sign, the plus unary operator. When that's placed in front of a value, it tries to convert that value, whatever it is, into a number. So you can understand if that value is already a number, it's going to do nothing. But if it's not a number, it's going to try and convert that value into a number. And that really is the only difference between a unary operator and a binary operator. Let me show you exactly what I mean. I'm just going to be using Visual Studio Code here, similar to what I did last time with Quokka. Okay, so let's start. Let's go a equals 1. And if I console log plus a, it's just going to return 1. What about if we go let b equals negative 1? And I console log plus b. Again, it's just negative 1. And all this means is that really we don't really need the unary operator here at all. We could get rid of it and it'll just be the same thing. There is no difference. But remember what I said? If it's placed in front of a value that's not a number, it will convert that to a number. So let me give you an example. Let c equals true. And we're going to get into coercion soon. Just understand that intuitively you'd think true is 1 and false is 0. So we console.log. If we just console log c, we would get true, which is what you see. But if we put the plus unary operator in front of c, it will coerce that into a number, which is 1. And we can do the same thing. Another example is a string. Let's go an empty string. And let's console.log plus d. And because it's an empty string, coerces it to 0. And if you're really sharp, you would have picked up that this unary operator is exactly the same as number. Remember, JavaScript also gave us the number function. Let's say e equals false. And we console.log e. That'll just give us false. We know that. But what about if I go number? Gives us 0. And that is exactly the same as if I didn't do that and I just put plus 0. So actually the plus unary operator just gives us a bit of a shortcut, which is awesome. And let me show you why practically it's cool. Let's say we've got 10 apples, but we put it in a string. And let's say we've got 5 pears in a string. And you wanted to add these together. Apples plus pears. Now the normal binary operator plus will try and concatenate these two things. It will combine these two things as strings. So you've got here an answer of what looks to be 105, but it's actually not 105. It's a 10 and a 5 that have just been placed together. Because JavaScript thinks it's strings. It's text. So to get around that, we just need to place the unary operator in front of the apples and in front of the pears. And JavaScript knows now to interpret those as numbers. It's coerced them into numbers. And if you didn't want to do it this way and you wanted to do it the long way, you'd have to literally write number, open bracket, pears. And you'd have to do the same with apples. Number. Just a lot longer. So using the plus unary operator saves us time. Let's get on to coercion.